So you got yourself a fancy camera, but you want to use it for live streaming or recording to your computer, and it's just not seeing it? Hang tight. What's up, everybody? Seth Miranda here. If you don't know who I am a pro photographer right here in New York City. And last time I did a video about how to set up a better looking live stream, and I got a bunch of questions asked me. That's all well and good with the lighting and all this other stuff, but how did you get that camera to talk to the computer so it can see it as a source so I can live stream from it or record right into the computer? Well, it's pretty simple. It's actually just a piece you need to buy because no computer is going to see your camera as an actual video device without it, right? And keep in mind, aside from the program I'm going to show you, this also makes your camera discoverable as a video capture device, a webcam, basically for anything else that uses that, Zoom, Skype, Discord, any video conferencing call, webinar jam, whatever. As long as it needs a signal as a video capture into a computer, this is what makes it discoverable. So I use a program called OBS, which is a free program actually, and it's basically a virtual switcher system. So I have a few things set up into it. So before I go into the camera setup, I figured I'd go over this. So you can actually watch me on my Nikon Z6 like this. I can switch over to my LG monitor and have me in the corner. What's going on, guys? Or you can see me on my MacBook itself with me in the corner. All this is the Z6, this feed right here. Or if I'm on location somewhere and I don't have this set up, you can watch me right on my webcam, straightforward. Not the best thing in the world, but it's better than not creating anything at all, right? Now, to get OBS to work, you have to feed it sources, both video, audio, and screen capture. You don't have to use a screen capture if you just want to do a talking head like this. Basically, all you need to do is get an HDMI cable out of your camera, whatever it may be, into what I'm about to show you right now. Check your camera before you buy any cables. It could be HDMI micro, HDMI mini, or HDMI full. Now let's talk about how we get that HDMI from our camera into this computer right here. Okay, so this is an Elgato Cam Link 4K. There's a few devices on the market, but I found this one to be the most compatible. I've had some issues with other devices not recognizing certain brands of cameras or even firmware being upgraded on cameras and it not working with that. What this basically is a dongle that allows me to take an HDMI full into it, and then it comes out as an adapter for USB-A, which can work on almost anything. I don't have USB-A on a MacBook, so I had to get this dongle, which allows me 4 USB-A inputs and a USB-C out to USB-C. So pretty much you have that HDMI cable coming out of your camera, and it comes right to here. You plug it into the Cam Link. The Cam Link then becomes a USB-A, which is just like a flash drive, right into a USB-A port, or if you need an adapter for that, you have to do it from USB-A to C like I do here on this Mac. And then that's going to become a device all on its own. Okay, so you got your camera hooked up to your computer through the Elgato Cam Link 4K or whatever device you find. There's other devices out there. Like I said, I used the Blackmagic Ultra Mini Studio Recorder for a while, but I was having trouble with it recognizing other camera brands. I went to the Elgato Cam Link at 4K, and since then I haven't had any issues, so that's the one I kind of recommend. But you can do your research on whatever might work for you in your budget or whatever systems you're using. So now, how do I get the computer to actually utilize this signal? Well, you can use this program called OBS that I just showed you. So let's go over to my other monitor right here, and you can see this endless screen of, mirror and a mirror and a mirror OBS over here. And the reason I'm doing this on this screen is because I'm physically looking at it and I need to have me here without blocking that. It's kind of fun. All right, so how do I do this? Well, these are the scenes, and what these scenes do are allow me to change through different layers of feeds that I have. Like this is just my Nikon. When I go down to the LG plus Z6, this is my LG monitor plus my Nikon. Now, if I wanted my MacBook and me, I can go to my MacBook and these Nikon. So it's the Nikon and the MacBook. That's the way I have my scenes. You guys can use whatever displays you have mixed with whatever cameras you have, but you also have to add in your audio sources. For me, I have my microphone going right into my Nikon, and both the audio and video are coming out of my Nikon as one signal into the Elgato, into OBS, but I still have to add them in separately. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So let's head over to the LG. So now you're looking at the LG monitor I have with my Nikon Z6 as the camera feeding into it. And the audio capture is the audio going into the camera, and both the audio and video are coming out into the Cam Link. And I told OBS each one of those sources separately though. So let's set up a scene, which is over here, and then fill up that scene with the sources I need. And let's start off by hitting the plus right here on scenes, hit add. Let's call this one test. Hit OK. So now what I went ahead and did was add the LG monitor as a source down here and the audio input capture right here, so you can hear and see my screen, but you still don't see me. So where is the video capture device? I hit the plus sign on sources again, and I go to video capture device. I click on that, and then it'll see everything that I've already plugged into it as an existing, but let's start a new one. When you go to create new, you can title it whatever you want. I'm gonna call this Cam Link, hit OK. And then when I go to devices, I have a list of everything that this computer is detecting as a device for video, meaning it has the built-in webcam on my MacBook and the Cam Link as a video source. So I click on that and now you see me. I hit OK, and now I'm a floating head screen again, and I can put myself wherever I want, and I can also size myself however I want, and now I'm back to where I was. But the way I got this for the sources below me, because I had to put these in so you could hear and see the screen, otherwise it would have just been a blacked out screen, or you wouldn't have seen the program at all. I went into my sources, I went into audio input capture, I hit create new, and you can title whatever you want, and then what I'm looking for is the Cam Link as an audio source, otherwise no one's gonna hear you, they'll just see you. So they have to see the Cam Link as an audio source. If your camera has the mic in it, whether it's built in or it's an external mic like I have now, which is a wireless lav microphone system. On top of that, if I wanted a screen capture, I have to tell it to do a display capture. So I have the LG down here. Well, all I did was went into here, add the plus again. I go into display capture right here, and it already sees the LG, but if it didn't, I can go to create new, title whatever you want, and then what you'll see is a list of monitors that, or displays rather, that it's detecting. 0 is my MacBook, 1 is the LG, and now when I put that in here, it's way too big. I hit Control, Transform, Fit to Screen, and now I'm back to where I was, but you don't see me anymore. Why is that? Because down here, the sources are a layer system. You have to go to the Cam Link, which is my camera, and make sure that's on top. And now that the Cam Link is on top, I shrunk myself down to the bottom. I have the display capture as the full screen, and I have my audio input as the Cam Link. I now have everything I need to do a visual presentation, which is basically what I just did of OBS. Keep that in mind, that the scene is the entire thing being beamed out to your broadcast, your recording. The sources are what's inside that scene. Make sense? Remember, it's just a bunch of layers, just like Photoshop, just like anything else. You can size them however you want. You can overload OBS depending on what system you have running it. So watch how many devices you have going into as a source, but you have to have your camera, you have to have your audio, and you have to have your display capture as separate devices feeding into it. Otherwise, you can just do a talking head like this, and all I have to do is tell it that I need the Cam Link as my video capture device. I have to have my audio input capture device be the Cam Link 4K as well. So that's 3 inputs on the sources if you want to have a talking head in the corner with your display capture and you're trying to explain something. So that's kind of like a super boiled down, easy way to put it together. Remember, everything you want to put out there, you have to tell OBS that it is a source. That means your audio, your video, your display captures. You can even go as far as to just capturing a window from an application. Like maybe you want to show just Photoshop and have that beaming out instead of an actual display being put out. You can do that from just the application window. Play around with it. It's free. Go get it. Download it. Make sure you have the right version. If you have Catalina, you might have some issues. You might have to look for a different version. It's definitely a PC-ish oriented application. Just keep that in mind. And that should be it. Just make sure you get a device that can be discovered by OBS, whether it be the Elgato Cam Link 4K, the Blackmagic Ultra Mini Studio Recorder, or whatever they call it. There's a bunch of them out there, but that's basically what you're going to need. You can't just plug in your camera right to your computer and expect it to read it as a signal. You're stuck with the onboard webcam if that's what you're trying to do, or you can't get any resources at the moment. That's pretty much what you're stuck with. And that's pretty much it. Sorry I didn't include this in the first video that I just put out there, but if you want to go beyond just connecting all this and make it look a little better, that's the video for you. I hope this clarified some things on how to get your camera to talk to your computer to use as a webcam or a live stream camera or whatever you want to call it. It's just one of those things. It sucks that we have to buy something else, but these cameras are never intended to be used as webcams, and computers were never meant to discover cameras as a feed-in source. So keep that in mind. Sorry if this was cramped your style a little bit and made you go, now I got to buy something else. But you're better off going with better quality things than not. Keep in mind that you get what you pay for. Things have wear and tear and can just fail on you, could overheat. The build quality could just be bad. It could be susceptible to things like humidity, all sorts of things. So be careful out there. You know, I know everyone has a budget, but try to, you know, not sell yourself short and have a setup that ends up failing on you and causing more grief. And then you're buying something twice instead of one good thing once. All right, that's going to do it for me. You guys can follow me at Last X Witness on all social media. Don't forget to join my Twitch channel where I have all these photo nerds constantly answering these questions in a 24/7 Discord channel. And I always go live to talk to you guys for live Q&As. And not to mention, you can share your work and we go for image reviews. And that's always fun too. All right, thank you so much for your time. Hit me with a comment down below, hit like, share this video around, hit the bell so you're notified when more videos come out, especially when I go live, because that's fairly often on this channel. I'll be shooting a demo live right in front of you guys, and I love having a full chat room. Until next time, be good to each other. Peace.